Hey everyone, it's Eric again. In the last session, you had a chance to visit Crystal Cove's North Beach to help us collect data on sand height, wave dynamics, and sediment composition for 3 of our ongoing monitoring projects to help us study how the beach here at Crystal Cove's Historic District is changing over time. Now that we have collected our data, our next step is to think about how we can analyze it to start looking for patterns. When we analyze data, we're really looking for patterns. Things that can tell us how what we're studying is changing over time. When your data is just made up of raw numbers, it can be challenging to find any patterns in it. That's why engineers and scientists create different kinds of data visualizations. The type of data visualization that we use really depends on the data itself. If we're comparing multiple categories or treatments, we might create a bar graph. If we're looking at change over time, we might make a line graph or a scatter plot. And if we're looking for physical patterns in a particular place, we could create a topographic map. Today, we're going to explore how we can create a data visualization for data from one of our 3 monitoring projects, the Sand Height Monitoring Project. If you remember from back in session 2, when we first created our model, we were interested in understanding the inputs and the outputs of sand within our North Beach system. When we collected data for sand height, we gathered elevation points along our beach. Now, how can we convert these points to help us analyze how our beach is changing over time? Or in other words, how can we create a data visualization that will help us look for patterns in how the shape of the beach is changing over time? Today, in session 6 of the Coastal Dynamics program, we're going to revisit the sand height measurements that we collected in the last session and use them to create a data visualization that will help us further understand what these measurements mean in context of a changing beach. Then, in session 7, we can think about how to process these data visualizations so that we can think about mathematical relationships between the change in sand volume and other factors that we measured. When you're ready, go ahead and move on over to the next slide to get started with thinking about how to create visualizations of our sand height data.